The first of our series of 5 archetype spotlight videos will be focusing on grapplers. Most grapplers are former mining vessels repurposed for the war. Many of the tools they use to bore into asteroids and carve through space fills work just as well against hulls. The mining rig is a very powerful weapon, but it can be difficult to use due to its limited range. This is why grapplers have been fitted with a variety of ways to quickly close the distance. They can pull opponents in, slow them down, hold them, pull themselves towards a target, or charge forward, damaging any hostile in their path. Every archetype is defined by 3 unique node types. The gear and abilities that can be equipped here define the archetype's gameplay. Although these nodes will be predominantly used by their original archetype, hybrid hulls of other archetypes often feature a few borrowed node types, offering synergy between skills and resulting in a great variety of playstyles. Let's take a look at the 3 node types that grapplers bring to the table. We'll discuss each one at a time and cover just a few of the many skills they can equip. Before you can damage anyone with short-range weaponry, you have to close the distance. This is the Grav Mag's primary role. It contains several tethering abilities that can pull enemies to you or pull you towards an enemy. The Grav Mag is also capable of repelling, which can be used as a defensive measure or to smash opponents into walls during a race. The cargo loader lets you briefly hold and throw enemies. You can lash at them with your weaponry while they're held and throw them into obstacles when you're done. The Grav Mag is full of passive abilities that make getting into close quarters easier, but it also has weapons. Watch what happens when you equip a big bangarang along with the mining rig's grappling pitons. Now you may have noticed that there are several weapons that are pulling in opponents when they're struck. This is not a feature of the weapon itself, but a passive ability called grappling pitons. The mining rig is where most of the grappler's weapons can be found. These are typically short range but can deliver the biggest punch in the game. A few of the staples include the plasma thrower, which puts out constant heat and damage, the arc cutter, a fast weapon that deals high damage in a cone, and the mining laser, which unleashes a sustained torrent of energy in a focused beam. But not all of the mining rig abilities are short-ranged. Let's take the flick stick ability, the grinder, for instance. Tapping the right stick in any direction will launch an enormous hull-grinding saw that travels back and forth on a track, turning enemies into scrap in its wake. Finally, we come to the kinetic drive, which is another source of the grappler's mobility. Equipping a joust drive will allow you to convert heat into movement. Activating this ability grants a burst of speed and a sharp increase in forward shielding. Any enemies caught in your path during this joust are dealt damage based on the speed of the collision. But there are other ways to get around, like the rocket on a rope, which is as fun to use as it is effective. For years, gamers have not been asking for a game featuring medieval weaponry in space. Well, Ring Runner has finally answered all of these unmade demands with the Space Flail. This mace in space is released and controlled by tapping the right stick, swatting opponents like flies. Grapplers will bring an exciting new kind of gameplay to the genre, but they're only one of the 5 archetypes, and we've only seen a handful of their available skills. Next, the spotlight will be cast on the Recon archetype, stealth fighters capable of generating decoys and sabotaging opponents with combo-based Gemini weaponry.